We're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast. Forge Gym, I think we are today.
Forge Gym, mate.
I normally start this by going, my new mate, not my new mate, very, very old mate, Bradley Skeete. Thanks for doing this, mate.
No worries,
we
mate.
do. So I was thinking about this on the drive down here. We met for the first time, would have been 20 years ago, I suppose.
Easy, yeah.
It goes fast, doesn't it? About 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We met at Elsfield Boxing Club. Shout out Elsfield, big boxing show going off at the weekend. Get down there. I think doors open 12:30. So check it out. But for context, when we met, you're a few years older than me. When I come in the club, I would have been sort of mid-teens, you'd have been at late teens, already sort of the top dog in the gym type deal. I think my first active season of boxing, you was in the ABA finals at the end.
Yeah.
So like that gives it some sort of measure of what I was coming into sort of
Yeah.
thing. And I was with Obed recently as well. He was in the
you?
final as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I did a session with him down at Churchill. Shout out the boys.
Yeah,
but yeah, we go through all of it because as much as I've known you a long time, I don't know much about how you started boxing because obviously I met you and you was already sort of 2 years away from turning pro, I suppose, something like that. So we get into all that, mate. But before we do, we met again recently at Crown's Gym, Fran Hennessy seminar, which was great. I didn't know he was going to be there, which was quite funny. But yeah, mate, tell us what you do now on a daily basis because you're not boxing anymore.
Not boxing now. The gloves are hung up now. So
they are solidly. I can't talk you back into it.
Nah. Oh, I never said. Nah, I'm joking. Nah, they're done. But like I say, down with Fran Hennessy after boxing, I was always going to stay in boxing. Do you know what I mean? Always give back, and I got my coach's license, and just I started training originally Michael, Fran's brother, and that come back. He just used to come down and do a few PTs because I was PTing. I just don't live too far, so when I first turned pro. Al Smith was training out of here, used to be Kedal, so yeah, it's mad how it's all turned back round. So come here, started doing a bit of PT, and then Michael come down and went into some one-on-one sessions, and then got training Michael, and then along come Fran, so trained her for her last 2 amateur fights, and then obviously, her career.
She's doing all right now as a pro, isn't she?
She's doing all right. Yeah,
and was that always the plan? When you hung up the gloves, was you always going to be a trainer?
Yeah, well, I always thought about staying in boxing, but at first I was in that, I didn't know really what's what, but I just when you just get stuck in a rut, I've done it all my life, I boxed all my life, and I was obviously how it ended, it weren't too good, so I was a bit like, a bit sick of boxing sort of thing, but I knew boxing's all I know, so I knew I had to still be part of it, and what more to do than coach, so still get the buzz, still get the energy, still get the vibes in the gym every day, still do a little bit myself, but just don't get punched in the face.
But you're still in shape, aren't you? That's why when I see you the other day, I was like, is anything going on? We can make it but like, you come from a boxing family too, right? Your dad's like, your dad, I've been on the pads with your dad as well. So like your dad's like, it's obviously, did your dad box and stuff as well?
He didn't box, but that's how I got into boxing, because my dad worked for Sid, obviously runs Elsfield. So I've grew up around Sid all my life, and he obviously had the boxing gym, but my mum would never let me go, and then round about, I was like 7, I was finally went down there, and
finally at 7,
finally,
after all the years,
waiting, but then never looked back. So I got into boxing through my dad. He never boxed, but obviously worked for Sid. Sid had the gym, it just all went from there.
Because I said to you the other day, I've seen your dad since you were down at Elsfield. I was doing a bit of training down there and whatnot. But like, if you go back in time to 7, you can't box till you're 11, right? So you're spending 4 years with the plan of boxing, or you just like enjoying it at that point?
I just loved it. I was just always in the gym. Richard Williams was there at the time. He was doing really well. So grew up watching him. Naz, I loved Prince Nazim. I used to watch Naz, and I used to say all the time, like, oh, that's got to be me. That's me. That's how, like, boxing me, Naz he's like my idol. So that's why I wanted to box. And then obviously being in Elsfield and seeing Richard and being pro, and that's what always was my dream.
Right, yeah, because I tell you what's mad, when you go to Elsfield, like, I'm from Elsfield, right? So like, when I go, it's just a local boxing club to me. I don't know anything. I'm going to box. I go down, and it's on my doorstep, right? Like the club of home of champions. Everyone says it, but like, you go in that club. Like my first day, I remember it. You was in there. Lewis Adolphi was a fantastic boxer, was in there. A few others I can't remember, but like, I'm walking into that straight away without sort of appreciating it, right? When you went in there, I'm assuming, like you said, Richard Williams stuff. Did you know you was going into a top club?
Yeah, I didn't really understand it like that, but I just because Richard turned pro obviously, and then we used to follow him and go around and go York Hall and things like that, and I used to always remember thinking, I'd love to do this one day. I'd love to, like the ring walks and all that. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, like I say, grew up watching Naz. It was all like Flash. I was like, I'd love a bit of this.
Right. A different world then as well. Boxing world, like it wasn't as easy to get hold of, was it? Now? But was Richard still amateur when you started? Then?
Yeah, he was still amateur.
So sort of Richard's sort of you to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you turning pro, because I remember like being there and like it was you and Ricky Boylan, right?
Yeah,
Shout out Ricky if there's ever fights you mate. But like you two was turning pro sort of a similar time, I think, from memory. And you was like, I think you're, how old are you now? 38?
38
so
now,
a few years older than me. I think Ricky's 2 years older than me from memory.
Yeah.
So it's like within reach, age-wise. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at it and going, wow, this is real. These guys are going pro. And then you like we was going to that O2. You were supposed to box on the DeGale Groves one, right? And you didn't end up boxing.
Mate,
I was there for that. I was sitting with Joe Joyce actually for that one. Yeah, it was mad. Like
that was a crazy night. I remember it was like a real good show they put on. Frank Warren done a real good show. I sold loads of tickets. And then I was a live float, so it was like could get on TV. Like you're not too sure where you are on the thing. If a fight goes early, you get on to make up the time.
Right.
So as the show was going on, I was warming up, and the show was coming in. You're gonna fight, I was thinking, mate, this is. Imagine the nerves and
constantly.
Then I think it was Nathan Cleverly. He was on chief support before the Gal Groves. They said if this goes before, I don't know, 4, 5 rounds, you'll get on, you've got to make up the time. Sweet, yeah, I'm thinking, oh my God, please, like, go on. And then it does him. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, it's packed out O2. I'm in my like third or fourth fight, I'm having this. Then they come in and was like, yeah, wait. And then the next thing I poke my head out and seeing DeGale and Groves like walking in to do their ring walks. I'm like, no. But I thought, I've still got an after them, it doesn't matter. Right. Then O2's got a curfew after 12 o'clock, no boxing, so yeah, didn't even get on.
Thanks for coming, Brad.
Didn't get on, mate.
And how early was that for you? How many pro bouts did you have before that?
I'm sure that was like my fourth, fifth in maybe.
So what I'm getting at is like you had a journeyman opponent, right? Not to knock anyone, but you knew you didn't have a hard fight ahead of you, so just to fight there is like this is my time.
I was in the changing room crying. I felt like I lost. I was gutted.
I remember seeing you in a magazine after that.
That was it. Done a big.
Yeah, there was like you was like pulling like the puppy dog eyes. Yeah, I remember that. Because we was there and like obviously you're in the crowd, right? So I tell you what happened that night. Do you remember Michael, Ukrainian Michael?
Yeah.
So me, Michael, and Joe was together sitting that night, right? And we was up in the high seats, right? And then all of a sudden, like it's early. We get there early because we don't know when you were on. So we start doing the should we go downstairs? Like we're sitting there and then people go, okay, sorry, just shift along. Anyway, long story short, we end up staying about 10 rows back. So we got the best view and we're like, Brad will be on in a minute. It's another one, it's not Brad. When's Brad coming? You know what I mean? And then like, the penny drops, he's not coming. But because you're there, you ain't got
I feel like
feedback.
I scammed everyone. I sold so many tickets. Obviously it was a massive show, so it helped, but yeah, I was in a bad way after.
Right. But to be honest, like for us, like, as you say, George Groves DeGale, which was a massive fight. Like for us, it was a touch. It was almost like we got tickets for that, and we get to see Brad fight. You know what I mean? It's like we know Brad's going to win because of the stage he's at. So it was big. And then my next memory of watching you was at the Albert Hall. Do you remember this one? No, this was the coolest thing. I say this. This was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen because you come out to Kanye, all of the lights, right? Come out, and I remember at the time thinking, I was with Paul Simmons as well. I'm shouting out a lot of names today. Shout out Paul, great fella. And we was, if I got any brain damage, 90% of it's down to him, we sparred so much. But we were sitting there and like we're watching it and you come out and I remember thinking, I don't know, because you was kind of, you're not a mean come out growling, are you? You was like, wait. I remember sort of watching you come out and sort of like, wait. And I'm thinking, come on, Brad, switch it on. Anyway, long story short, you threw a right up, knocked the geese right in the first round. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, you know what I mean? But like, from that, you're, like Billy Joe, I think, was on that card, wasn't it? So there's like big names and whatever, and you're going through your career. And like, as I say, like I've seen you from the amateurs, top amateur, and now all of a sudden it's like, this is happening, man. Like he's going and going and going. Like you won a Lonsdale Belt, which I'm jumping ahead a bit, but like in your career, you turned pro. What's the goals like day one? Like I'm turning pro and do what?
Mine was always that Lonsdale Belt.
Was that what it was? Right.
Yeah, and I always said that like I didn't just want to win it. I wanted to keep it, like win it outright. So so to win it and then defend it 3 times, then it's yours. So that. I always that was me when I turned pro. I said that's my if I obviously world titles that but that was if I could do that I'd be a happy man and obviously went on to do it, but it wasn't all good. Obviously the first attempt of it I boxed Frankie Gavin, who at the time was Frank Bourne's star boy, but like a good fight. I still would believe to this day I won it. It was close, but I thought I'd done enough. A lot of people thought I'd done enough, but it wasn't meant to be. So things happen for a reason. And then obviously, went on and.
Well, Frankie Garron was a great talent as well. When I remember, again, one of the magazines at the time, we sound like dinosaurs. I'm reading magazines, but the magazines were a thing back then. You'd get the boxing news and all that, right? Whereas, like, I remember it was after the Olympics, like, he was there with DeGale, and DeGale won the gold, obviously, but there was some, I can't remember, it might have been Barry McGuigan, if I'm wrong, whatever, it's irrelevant, but it was saying, like, he thought Frankie Gavin was the favourite to win the world title.
He never did. Because he won the worlds, didn't he?
Right. And he didn't actually box the Olympics, right?
He missed weight.
Right. But he was like the star.
He beat everyone. He won the worlds, and then he was like the favourite to win the gold. And he fouled weight, so he didn't end up actually competing in it.
Because these times I remember, like, this was like the time I was coming into it, just before the Olympics and stuff. And like, you knew DeGale, right? DeGale came down actually for sparring before the Groves, and that's how. Anyway, long story short, but like when the Olympics are coming, was that ever a thing for you? Or did you age out wrong?
I did. I was on GB on the setup, but they had their squad. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't. It was net. And then the cycle, the 4 year after 4 year, it wouldn't.
That's what I'm getting at. Like 4 years, a long time, and it was 20, for example. Like, how old were you? 2008. Put you on the spot here, right?
Match, fucking hell. What was I? 9? No, not 19. Oh, I don't know.
What year you born? We'll figure it out.
87.
87, 21. So, you know what I mean? It would have been like, it's tough age, isn't it? Like, at that time, it's time. Because I remember as well, on the Ellsfield run, like, I remember running with you once, and like, you were saying about pro and stuff, and you was like, I'm 20 or whatever, no rush, I'm whatever. And it was like, there was sort of a chill that mood, whereas like, you know, it's like when you're 17 or whatever, and you're 20, I'm going, 20's old, do you know what I mean? Like, going that bit, obviously I ain't, but like, when you turn pro, you tell me, from memory, there was a lot of bouts coming quick back then, right?
It was,
bang, bang, bang.
It was quick, because I think, like, when I turned pro, it was like you say, that age, that 20, 21, you're thinking, oh, I'm a man now, I can turn pro. But my thing in the amateurs was, like, when I turned pro, my thing in the amateurs was win the ABAs. Like, you've got to win the ABAs. Like, that's the thing to win. So I lost in the final, so I was thinking, and then I stayed amateur for another year and said, right, I've got to crack this. And then I come up against Dudley O'Shaughnessy in the London final.
I remember this.
And that was a ding-dong. Like, we had a proper ding-dong. And lost a close one, and he went on to win it. And then I had a chat with Sid, and I was like, I'm gonna turn pro now. So that was, like, I was probably 22 then, and then I was, it might have been late 22, and then just after my birthday, my 23rd birthday, I turned pro. So my debut was 21st of October, so...
Right, so straight. Because Dudley Shaughnessy, he disappeared, didn't he? He did the Rihanna video.
Done a bit of modelling and that. I think he done really well. He's been in Top Boy and all things like that.
He's done well. Because he was like, again, magazines, but he was like Olympics, this and that. But didn't he fight Rob as well?
He boxed Rob,
I was there for that night as well, it's mad.
He boxed Rob before he boxed me.
Was it the same year, right? Was that an earlier, or was it the year before? Oh, right, something like that, it might have been, because again, I was like, where you started boxing, right? I had a few bouts, and like I'm at every show, like I got to pick up everything. You know, like your call was like, mate, I got to get here and all that. But like when you're sort of go back a step, like the ABAs, the one you lost in the final. Remind me on this. Didn't you clash heads or something? It was stopped.
Yeah, it was a head clash, and my eyes swelled.
That's right. Yeah. So you didn't really lose properly, did you? I know you did, but like, do you know what I'm saying?
It was a hard one, because it was a good fight. It was Ronnie Heffron who was touted for big things, but. It was getting into it, and then just my eye like ballooned up, and the ref counted, and then I'd looked me, took it to the doctor, and was like, nah, so it was over before it started.
Do you look back on that and go,
I was just like, do you know what? But I look back, and it sounds bad, but all these fighters that we were smashing at the amateur, and then turning pro, they didn't really do much. I went on and I won a British title, and I was like, I'm over the moon with that. Do you know what I mean? So. Not only that, I went on done like real good things. British, Commonwealth, WBO European, WBA Intercontinental, ranked number 3 in the world. Touted to fight Jeff Horn for the world title.
That's right,
Like that fell. That didn't. It was there. It was like agreed. Everything was agreed.
Oh, it was really close.
Yeah, everything. It was literally getting announced, and then.
Never happened. It's mad world, isn't it? Because that, like, there was times, obviously, as you went in your pro career, I didn't see you as much. But I remember when you first turned pro, you were still coming down for sparring.
That's it.
And I used to dine out and like spar with pro to like sweetheart. Do you know what I mean? And I was going to say, the more time went on, the story got better for me, innit? But like, when you see that again, like you and Ricky was the first two. So like, there was a buzz about the club at that time. Well, certainly for me anyway, because I was quite new in the game anyway. I'd probably had, when you turned pro, I probably had 10 bouts or something. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, I was like, wow, this is a place. You get the likes of like Shane McGuigan, who was boxing at the time, come down with Barry McGuigan, Carl Frampton was back at the time and all that. And it was like, where am I? Like, this is only up the road from my house. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just falling upon this place. Then you start going to like, you know, it's like you go from sort of southwest London where we was to southeast. Yeah. And you got like the South Norwood and Victory Club, like all good times, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like Fairfield Halls you go to and all that kind of things. But like when you go back to sort of early days of a pro, was there a time when you started going like, yeah, this world title business, this is for me, this might happen? Yeah, not so much early on, but when you're going on and you're winning, getting the wins, and then you're fighting these fighters and fighting ex-champions, and then you're thinking, oh, like, yeah, you do start, it's there, that's the end goal, that's always there. And if you get into pro boxing, if that's not the end goal, then you do it, it's all wrong. But yeah, who don't get into boxing and think, I want to be a world champion, I want to achieve that. But that was always in my head, to get there. And because Jeff Hall fought Pacquiao, right?
Yeah.
did he get the win?
He beat him,
He didn't beat him, but he got the win, sort of thing. It's one of them winning. But like, was you ever thinking like, Jesus Christ, I might get Pacquiao? Because I was thinking, Jeff Horn, we watched him, I was like, he's made for me, he just comes forward with my jab, I'd play with him sort of thing. Right. And I think that's what they must have agreed to fight, because he was meant to fight someone else and it fell through. Then I was next in, I was obviously ranked so high, so they looked at me. So, and then literally, like I say, everything was agreed. I was just waiting for the contract to come back to sign, and then it was done. Right. Then it was like a few days went past, didn't it? Nothing. Then it was like nothing, and then I didn't even get told. I got announced that he was fighting Gary Corcoran, and I was thinking, what? Like, he's in the same stable, and that they must know what's going on. And he was like ranked 15. I was thinking, what the fuck's going on here? Like, dirty business, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what is that? They're looking at it and going, he's awkward, he's going to be hard to fight here. He's not world famous. Like, let's swerve this one.
I think they looked into it, because I think people talk, don't they? And I think they probably just thought, we'll have him, he's fine, that. But yeah, then I think they looked into it, had a few phone calls and was like, swerve that one.
Watch out now.
He's not.
Well, that's the thing we ain't spoke about yet as well. This is at welterweight. Welterweight, right? And you're what? You're 6 foot at least.
6'1".
6'1". So like that's a particular body type as well, isn't it? Like what's the average welterweight? I don't know. We're talking probably 5'8".
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like you come along and that's a problem in itself, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like people start going, maybe we swerve this one. Do you know what I mean? And like with the weight as well, because eventually you fought like middleweight, I believe. Did you finish it like middle?
Last two was
which even like middle, you're big for that, and you're like in terms of whatever. But like, was the weight ever a concern for you, or did you just make
towards
it easy?
The end it was. It was, right? Yeah, towards all through my career, I was always like strong at it, boxed well at it, done, made it well. But yeah, towards the end, it started getting really hard, and that's when I took a break. The fight before, obviously, come back. The Argentina guy got done in 2 rounds, and then I was like that. Yeah, I made weight. It was so hard. I was dead. I was dead, and then everything that night just didn't feel right. I just it was weird, and that's when I took the break. But and then that weight at the end was hard.
Was this the Laranja guy? Was it his name?
No, that was for the European title. He was the Spanish guy.
Right.
What was that? Probably a couple fights after.
Right. Yeah, but the weight's like. Yeah. And what, you had a break from boxing, thinking what? I'm done, or
no?
What?
I just needed a break. I just thought, this is. I've been doing it a long time. Like I say, I got beat by someone who shouldn't even have laced my boots. You know what I mean? And then I knew it was the weight, so I just wanted a break. And then I took some time off. And then COVID come, and then it was that I was like, fuck. It was like, oh no, like I'm sort of done, sort of thing. What's going on here? And then I went up to the Ingle gym. I was helping out Tony Curtis, that Lightning Jr. at the time. And we said, we go up to the Ingle gym, and Naz, obviously, he was my idol. I've never been up to the Ingle gym before. So I went up there with him just to do a bit of training with him. And then Dom said to me, what are you doing? Why don't you do a bit? I'm like, nah, I don't. I'm chilling. He's like, listen, jump in. They always body spar. I was doing a bit of body sparring. He's like, what are you doing? Why haven't you been boxing? What you been doing? I said, I think I'm done, to be honest. He's like, Don, you're mad. Like, you're crazy. You're body sparring up with the boys. What are you playing at? I was like, then I was thinking, oh, maybe like, love the style, love the lines, love the blow. Like I just felt when I walked in there, I was like, I felt like when I first walked in Ellswood, I was like a kid again. Like,
Right.
And I had a buzz, and I thought I ain't had that for ages. And then I thought I'm gonna give this another go. So I had a chat with Dom, and I said, listen, if I give it another go, could I come and train up here? It was like, yeah, but it's all or nothing now. You've got to come up and move up here and get it done, sort of thing. So I didn't even think about it. I went home, like told my mum and that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to Sheffield. And it was literally, I sorted out a house. Billy Joe had a house up there, but he wasn't training there anymore. So I rented the house off him, literally opposite the gym. And then, yeah, off I went. And then, yeah,
that's cool. And you're in your 30s at that point,
yeah.
Right? So, like, you've got, I mean, you're at a point now where it's like, now's the time.
Yeah,
you know
definitely. I was 32.
Right.
Yeah,
how did you feel 32. At that age? Did you feel any effects of aging at all?
Do you know what? No, I felt when I was there. I felt like a kid
Because the reason I do feel a little bit of that's a myth. I do think a lot of that's in here.
No,
as someone who's gone past that age, I feel better. I feel the same. I don't feel any of that. Yeah.
Listen, I always used to speak to Dom, and it was like, listen, age is nothing. You put that work in. And you're like, why not? Like, it's just a number, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was round the likes of Kel Brook, Keith Galahad, Liam Williams was up there, Willie Hutchison was there.
Okay.
We had a good squad there,
That's
do you know what I mean? And I was with all them boys, and it was good. It was good time, and like I said, I had that buzz, and it was the best thing I'd done. Like, it sounds so bad, but it was like. If I'd done that a bit earlier, maybe I could have. Yeah, I got you. But it's all.
It is what
it is. What it is. Yeah, the time I was there, it was unbelievable, and I think to this day, like, barring the Sam Egerton win, that was a real good performance. But the performance I put on against Hamza Shiraz, that was my best performance. I was 34, passed it for everyone's eyes, that, and boxed the head off him. And to this day, everyone, including him, knows what it is. So I was happy. That's why I did get. Everyone knows what like went on. We'll speak about it.
But today,
I won that fight. Do you know what I mean? It's not on paper, but I won that fight.
Right, very funny fight. But before, the reason I asked you about the age originally was because I remember watching the Hamza fight, and I remember the commentator. I mean, I might be exaggerating, but it felt like every fucking minute he was going, "He's 34, Bradley Skeete. He's boxing like this." I was thinking, we ain't 54. Like 34 ain't old, is it? Like, what's he talking about? So I think that mindset of it. But like as you said, like the Hamza Shiraz, I'm biased anyway. I've played a long time. But like you did box his head off until it went the way it did. But like before I give my 2 cents, like what's your view on that fight? And tell people what happened. Sort of thing.
I remember Dom coming to me and saying, "Oh, they've got you. Like this is it now." Because I was like thinking, I was 2 years off, maybe near on 3 years off, and I had a little run out in Sheffield against Dal Arrowsmith. He's a top guy. Wicked, like, I don't want to call him a journalist. Like, he's on the road. He does his job. He's very good at it. So I get in there first time at that middle, boom, boom, boom. I felt unbelievable, and no one gets him out of there, and I'm feeling amazing. I think it was a 6th round. I think in the 4th, I just literally just done a job on him, sort of thing. Got him out of there, and it's not big. Like I should, no, I'm not even talking about it, but I should be doing things like this. But I was so pleased because that long layoff and being away for so long, my age sort of thing, everyone's saying, before people telling me, you've done now, you should retire, and then in my head I was like, nah, this is, get me a big fight now, I'm ready, I ain't got no time to waste now, get me a big fight. And then, look at this idiot. Look.
We're getting kicked out?
Nah.
We're getting attacked, or what? What's happening?
Oh, sorry, bro.
It's attacked me. Wait, that's on camera. I'm paying that.
Sorry, bro. We can put it in the bloopers. Sorry.
Exactly, yeah.
Sorry.
If I get a limp out of it, I'm taking the call on that one. It's on camera, mate.
We ain't getting on them mats, bro. Don't do all that jiu-jitsu. Sorry. But yeah, I was saying, I was buzzing. I was saying, Dom, get me a fight. I said I could do anything. I'm thinking I could take on the world now.
And sorry to stop you there. Like, with that, what's Dom saying? What's the plan? Are you going like, right, we're going to make the title now?
Yeah,
like,
Dom's saying you're ready. He's saying you know what you're doing. You've been around boxing. You know what you're doing. You ain't got time to waste. Like it's all on now. Do you know what I mean? I ain't up there just to waste his time as well. He's training big fighters.
Yeah,
so
of course,
I want, and that's what I got with Dom. Like it was like another Sid. Like you just want to make him happy and that. Do you know what I mean? He's got that presence and. To get that, like Dom's happy.
We come to Sid later. We talk about it.
I was buzzing. I was like, So we trained hard for that fight, and I knew I had the style to beat him. He was.
Did you know you was above him, like level wise, at that point?
Yeah. Like listen, he come down to iBox when I was there when he was a kid, still amateur, and obviously I was a seasoned pro, British champion, and I knew then. So you know when you piece up someone once, that's always in their head, isn't it? So I knew I had him. I knew all that he was busting everyone. Listen, he still is doing well.
Yeah.
But I just knew, I knew I had it. The style in that, and especially the style I had up in the Ingle gym.
Right.
The footwork, the movement, the switching. He wouldn't live with that.
Well, the thing that struck me as well is I didn't necessarily. I knew kind of who he was before, not really, right? And then I see you in the ring. It's probably the first time you ever fought someone taller than you as well.
Yeah,
right? Do you know what I mean? Because he's huge,
exactly,
isn't he? And he's gone up to middleweight or super middle now.
Yeah.
So that's going on. But take us through the fight, mate. It's a mad fight.
Come out. My jab obviously was the key. Out, I jabbing him, feinting him up and down. He's just looking to detonate that. I know I took that away. He ain't gonna outbox me. No one. Like not many people can outbox me.
Right.
Giving it to him. Rounds and rounds. He won't win. He didn't win a round, and he got to what round 8 or 9, I think it was. No, round 8, 9. It was that long ago.
Late in the fight, wasn't it? Yeah.
Rolling. He's hit me on the back of the head. I've gone down. That was one time. Yeah. Got up, no knockdown. And moving, get him on, rolling. Done it again. Hit me on the back of the head. As I took the knee, not only is it me on the back of the head, he's hit me 3 times when I'm down. Took me out the game, wiped me out the game. Then that's when it all got a bit weird because I'm on the knee now. He's a big puncher. Do you know what I mean? He's a big puncher. I'm there. I can't even see straight. Looking at Dom. Dom's looking at me saying, "Stay down, stay down." The ref comes around, blocks me from even talking to Dom, telling me, "You got to get up now. Get up." I'm like, "Fucking hell." Having a chat. I'm like, "Nah, I'm fucked," sort of thing. Frank Warren's there shouting and screaming, get him up. In my head, I'm thinking that the fight's done, sort of thing. I'm fucked, sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Then the refs come back over, say, "Get up. If you don't get up, the fight's over." I'm thinking, what? Oh, fuck. The pride in me should have just been like, the ego thing should have been like, no, the fight's over then. He's hit me with a legal shot. He's disqualified.
Right, yeah.
But I'm thinking all over the place. I'm thinking, I've got to carry on. I've got to win this fight. There's only a couple of rounds left. I've got to win this fight. And it just changed. The fight just changed. Like, it just went all in his way. Like I say, he dropped me again. The bell went. Going into the 9th, come out, and then I was done. And obviously got me out of there, sort of thing. So.
Yeah. Well, my recollection of it is it was like it was strange. It was just like one of them unfortunate things. And it's like, you was winning every round, weren't you? And again, I am biased. But you was winning. Watch the fight.
He know himself. Like, listen, this is where it gets so weird. Like, imagine I'd done that to him. What I would have been disqualified. Police would have been around my house, arresting me for assault. That's
where was the fight? Where did the fight take place?
Copper Box.
Copper Box. I was. Yeah.
It would. If that's how. And then after the full fights on YouTube, it's everywhere to see and that. Where's it now? You can't find the fight.
It's
gone. All gone. The full fight. Only you could probably see clips of it. Him having his best moments. But the fight, anyone can see who can have that whole fight, watch that whole fight, and then tell me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny.
And see, oh, he was coming back in. No, he wasn't coming back into nothing. Right. He hit me on the back of the head. And out of frustration, he's done me 3 times.
Right.
It's that's that. The whole fight, you can't find it.
Do you have any sort of resentment towards him personally?
No, do you know what? It's a long time. I'd be a bitter old man if I just resented him. Like, I've not seen or spoke. I tell you, like, I worked with Sky Nicholson, and when she boxed out in Saudi, he was out there, but I didn't see him to speak. I wouldn't go out on my way to speak with him. He's not my person. Like, he's not my friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'm not bitter. I'm not. Like, I've done well. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's done well. He at the time probably he knows. Do you know what I mean? He lives with that. He knows. So that's what gets me. He knows. Everyone knows, including himself. So because you're a fighter, you know when you fucked up or not, don't you?
Well, I tell you what's interesting with that one at the time, and again I'm watching it on TV, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm going, shit situation. They'll turn it around in a few months, and Brad will get back on, and we're just back because of how the fight was going before, right? So you're thinking like mistake, whatever happened, blah blah blah. He'll sort this, and we move. You was after I saw interviews with you and stuff. You was gonna have the rematch and all that business, right?
Yeah, there was all talk. That's what I mean as well. They're making out rematch, have the rematch. He's manager at the time. I'm not even saying names, or they all know who he is, and that. I was always on my case. He come in the changing room after the fight. Like, nah, he's moving up. That he's weight. He can't do the weight. He's got to move up. He's a middleweight. He should have never done that. Nah, that's it. He's moving up. So the rematch, I just moved up to 154. Man's telling me he's moving up to 160. So what? I'm going to take a rematch knowing full well he ain't making a weight. And then what? I'm gonna look the bad one and go, oh, he's coming overweight. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, go on. Here's a few more quid fight. No, I'm not an idiot. I know this boxing. I've been around it my whole life. And then I'm going to look like the idiot. What? I'm going to pull out the fight because he ain't making weight and make myself look like a fool. They know what they're doing. And what did he do? Move straight up to middleweight. Did he? He didn't box again at 154, did he? After me.
Right. Did you ever think about, I'll box his head off, I'll go to 160 and do it?
Nah, I was welterweight my whole career and literally just moved up to 154. I could have probably, like, I could have done it, but it's all in his favour, isn't it?
Of course. And middleweight is a funny division. Yeah. Middleweight is where people start getting heavy-handed, big. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like middleweight, especially amateurs, even more so, maybe just because of like 75 kilos, it's a bit heavier and stuff like that. Like I had a bit of a battle with like I could make 75 easy, I couldn't make 71. Or, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's a pain in the arse, isn't it? But it is what it is. But like when you go forward after that, what was the decision to just that's it, I'm done?
I stayed in the gym. Because that was in the December. In January, I remember the 1st of January, Kelbrook, he had the Calm fight, and Kelbrook phoned me and said, I'm doing training camp in Fort Ventura. Get out here, we want you out here. I was like, oh, no, I was down in the dumps. Right. It was like, nah, come on, you'll be good for sparring, and we need you out here. So, yeah, took me to Fort Ventura, was out there for the whole month. And really, like, we had a good time. It was wicked, like, quality. And then, in that time, I still thought like the fight might happen, it might not. What's going on? But yeah, when it was all done, and then I just said nah. I got back from Fort Ventura, and I was like nah. And I tell you what made me the decision with boxing. I just was that sick of it. I watched the Jack Catterall. It weren't long after the Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor fight.
Terrible.
The board and that just. They reviewed my fight and that and see it was like, yeah, that was all good and that, nothing's going on. And I thought, how can anyone watch that and see and agree with that? What's going on?
That was a terrible one, that one, wasn't it?
And then I watched the Josh Taylor Catterall fight, and then when I see the decision, and I was like, is this what boxing's all about? And nothing's gonna happen about it. I know that for a fact, and not one thing. That's just like everything, get brushed under the carpet. Next week, another show will happen again, and then that be the talking point. And I just said, that's me done with boxing. I ain't involved. I don't want to fight no more. Wow. And then that was that. And
it's a shame, man. I like sitting there, like I've known you a long time, right? I sit there and I go, come Brad, one more, right? Let's go again. Yeah. And like, but that was it. The decision. You never second guessed it.
Yeah, I was like, no, not for me. Yeah, it's not a bit of me. It's the boxing side I'll always love. It's just all the business and the politics side of it and all that. And now I'm gonna have to deal with it as a trainer. Do you know what I mean? Right, so back. I'm still back, but I'm not getting punched in my head.
Right. Well, you didn't get punched in the head much anyway. You were a bit of an elusive guy, weren't you? Do you know what I mean? But like before we get back to sort of like what's going on now as a trainer with Fran and that, like I want to know a bit about like the England, like you like training up there because historically, like it's one of them sort of not a secret, but like it's a unique style in it, and everyone's it's sort of like they're sort of like a little world on their own, like for the boxing. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's it like training up there?
Unreal. Everyone thinks it's like, it's a big secret, this, that, but literally, it's from back in Brendan. Brendan was there. You see like old videos and from Naz and Johnny Nelson and all the rest of the Ryan Rhodes and that. It's just the same, just the drills, the lines, the circle on the floor, the blows on the heavy bag they're talking about now where Naz gets his power from. The pad work, the 1 shot, 2 shot, the different style. And I think that style was it was just all me. Like I say, elusive. I never was really a switch hit, but they don't. Everyone thinks, you go there, they tell you, you got to switch, you got to do this. Yeah. They don't. It's just natural. Like you just do it naturally. You switch feet, when you're throwing, when you're walking. That's how Dom explained to me. When you're walking left foot, right foot, and if you walk back, it's the same. So he said, just add the punching into it, and it's the same when you're boxing. So I loved it, and like I said, when I first went up there, I was like a big kid. It was like, I had that buzz again, and I didn't have that for a long time. So yeah, it was good. Dom's a good guy. Helped me a lot, and I really enjoyed it up there.
It's good because you need that sometimes, don't you? Because like we all know, like we've all trained hard at boxing, haven't we? And like just sometimes, well not sometimes, a lot of the time, I think people train too hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like their emphasis on hard work. Where of course, listen, it's a hard sport. You got to work hard, but if you're focused on working hard, you're missing a lot.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like how many times you've been on bags and just maybe not you because your style was very sort of slick and whatever, but like how many times I've been on bags, punching a bag, sweating. I've been training an hour and a half, and then you go, what did I really do? Do you know what I mean? Like I might as well have just shoveled shit out of the barrow. Like I've done the same sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like going there and doing that. Like I'm assuming, you tell me, I'm not speaking for him. It's like I'm assuming it's not emphasis on 10 more rounds, smash the bag, press ups. You know what I mean? Like it's more of a learning.
All learning and repetition. Big thing, body sparring. They don't really open spar. For my like when I was off near on 2.5 years, 3 years, I'd done a couple open spars, and I'm thinking, oh my God, all I've done is body spar, but it's just fit, like condition, fit, and they all did, and you know it works because they all do it. Do you know what I mean? And it works, and it's things like that. It's just an eye opener. Do you know what I mean? And that less is more, and then and being up there, I've just took that away from now. Obviously, training my fighters now, I can take bits I learned on the way and the journey up there and what we do. It's like I say, it's nothing fancy. Like if you ever go up there and you'll see it, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, maybe I've got to hook up with you now. Maybe Dom, shout out, mate, gets on the bag, do the lines with me and all that. But like now as a coach, like I haven't seen you coach necessarily yet, but like it's a good vibe. And nowadays coaches are younger. Like you're still reasonably within age range. You could fight yourself if you want. Like back in the day, like not to sound like a dinosaur, but coaches were like coaches because they were too old to fight, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like there was no chance like the coaches when I started boxing. Not that they couldn't fight when they were younger, but like they were far past the age where it was like I'm going to box again. Do you know what I mean? So it's a different vibe. Like when they've got you in there and stuff, the energy's got to be. I don't want to say different because it sounds like you're knocking like older coaches, which is they've got the wisdom, they've got the place. But you see where I'm coming from, right? If you're in there moving around light on your feet and stuff like that. Fran's going to be the youngest undisputed champion ever as a female, which we'll come to and stuff like that. But it's like, her brother's still boxing or not?
He's back now, He's had 2 years off, but he's back in the gym, he's back with me, and he'll be back this year, definitely.
Nice, so that's good, because I tell you what was going back to the seminar where I was seeing the other day, like, the biggest thing of it was energy.
We're so close, like, I'm round their house all the time. We have a little laugh and that. They come in. I'm on the sofa asleep. Like, like they treat me like I'm theirs, and I treat them like they're mine. That's how it is, and you've got to have that. If you ain't got that, I think that bond is you got to have that.
I think it's too hard to not.
Yeah.
Like we touched on earlier, like the particular stuff.
Exactly.
But like, do you know Danny Connor? Danny Connor, right? He was on the podcast. I shouted Danny, great guy. We was chatting and stuff. We said like. Sid rung me when I was about 30, like when I was training at the club and whatever. And you know, I'm 30 years old, by the way. The phone rings and you go...
Yeah, not one person I don't speak to. Like, when Sid rings, you'll look, I think, what have I done?
Exactly, what have I done wrong?
Like, and then you answer, You all right, mate? Yeah. And I think, oh, thank God.
It is. It's proper like, it's like, oh, but you're like game planning. The phone's ringing, you're going, all right, give it a sec, come on, right? I'm 30 years old, do you know what I mean? It's mad. But yeah, the respect he's got. I remember he once, like in the corner, and bear in mind, this is an amateur club show, means nothing other than to me, right? It's a big deal. Like, and I remember him putting his head on me, like, because you know what Sid's like for anyone who's trained with him. He'll tell you how terrible, for me anyway, you're this is rubbish, that's rubbish. But he put his head on me once in the corner and sort of gave me like the other side of that. You know when you're a bit like, whoa, where's this coming?
And
I like grew an inch. I'm like, I'm ready now. Do you know what I mean?
It.
And I gave him a standing count of 1, if anyone was wondering. But like, do you know what I mean? Like that kind of environment now you've got with yours. Like, take us through. Like, you don't have to give us secrets. It could be whatever. But like, what's it like training now compared to like hitting tyres and lifting weights and running? Like, what's the style of training for you?
Do you know what? Like I say, being up in Sheffield and in the English gym, I do a lot of footwork drills. I believe the feet are so important. The hands, anyone can throw their hands. It's the feet, balance. Like feet for me is a major thing in boxing. So I implement that a lot. Footwork. We do a lot of body sparring. Like I took that away from there. Do a lot of body sparring with them. And I get involved. Do you know what I mean? That's what you say. I feel I still get involved. So if I'm doing it, they got to be doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So and that's how what we do. So just like, and I always less is more. Like, do you know, when you can see when they're a bit fatigued, like, no, you no more. Do you know what I mean? And whereas back in the day, it's like, say, come on, what you do? But just enjoy it. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to get nowhere.
I think you appreciate that more the longer you've done it. Like, because what's Fran's 21, I think she said.
21 now,
like, firstly, she's very mature in her head of what she's saying. Because one of the things that really stuck with me for someone that young was, I can't remember how she worded it, doesn't matter, but it's basically like recovery is a big thing. Like, when you was 21, I wasn't thinking about recovery. It was you. Like, it was like, I can do more. Do you know what I mean? We're just doing more. Do you know what I mean? Like, for her to be thinking like that, I think that's got to carry
through. And the technology and all the things developing now is a different world, isn't it? It's like she's big on that red light therapy and all that.
Okay.
That I didn't even know about none of that when
I was in my 30s.
Ice bath and all that. We had Sid filling up a wheelie bin and putting ice cubes in it.
Put another tracksuit on and getting that sauna. Lose another 4 kilos.
So the times and that is all moving. So it's all for the good, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
of course.
You got like, that's where I've got to go. Yeah, cool, do that, crack on, do that. So.
But the other side of that is it needs people like you that are proper boxing people.
Exactly.
It can go the other. We know fighters, no names. But we know fighters that have got like a gym trainer and they're doing 6 circuits a week and they do a bit of pads. And, oh, we don't spar hard anymore. And it's like, I don't think this is the right way to do this. You know what I mean? Like you're fit and like I've had people go, but you got to understand. Look at the numbers. He's benching. When bench press. Exactly. Getting in a fight. We on about. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of that. So like boxing people need to still be about. Don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a but it's like that's why I enjoy it, because I know I'm young in it as a trainer and I'm coming through and people think, what's he done sort of thing, but I have that respect from doing of my career of boxing. So I'm not saying because I've done so well as a boxer I'm going to do unbelievable as a coach, but I see things and it's completely different boxing, but I see things from the outside now in. So it's a good journey to be on. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying learning every day. Do you know what I mean? I've been around good people and throughout my career to pick up things and still pick up the phone, ask questions, have a chat, and that's what it's all about.
It's nice, isn't it? Because it is a different art.
Yeah.
Like, I said this on a podcast the other day. We were chatting, and it was like, we've been around people that have been great fighters. I mean, top fighters, and you ask them advice or they give you some advice, and it's like, you just throw the jab and you're like, well, you can do it, but like I ain't really explained it very well, is it? You don't know what you're doing, you're just good at it sort of thing. So like the other side, it is a different art form, isn't it? Like when you get a good coach, it is priceless. But going forward now, like how many fighters are you training currently?
Training Fran, Michael obviously, help Eddie Lamb with Sky Nicholson, and Rob Vincent.
That's cool. So small little is that you like it? Like on top?
Do you know what? Because like if I could be like it sounds bad, but loads of people could be in there training away and that. But I think you got the time. Your time is the days go as quick as anything anyway, and to give everyone that same time, you can't. It wouldn't be possible. And the fighters I help now, like with Fran and Scott, they're fighting at a high level. So I can't be. Do you know what I mean? Here, there, and everywhere. So I just it's less is more. I just believe that. So don't get me wrong. If like these fighters coming, good fighters coming, yeah, of course. But it sounds bad, but like, you know, these fighters, like everyone wants to be a boxer, don't they?
Yeah.
And it sounds that these, and no disrespect, the like small halls, there's no money in it. They're fighting. They've got to sell so many tickets before they even get paid themselves. They've got to pay the opponent, pay this one, that one, and it's not going nowhere. And I'm so real with it, and I tell them, go and get a job. It's not. It's too hard. If you can't sell a minimum of 100 tickets, minimum every fight, just it's no point. It's going to be too hard. Like,
and 100 tickets. When you say that off the cuff,
yeah,
people go 100 tickets. Right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of tickets. Go and sell 20. See how that goes.
And I struggle to do that.
Yeah.
And that side of boxing is that's horrible. Do you know what I mean?
And it's also the first one's all right. I'm in my pro debut.
Yeah, everyone wants to come. Yeah.
Now it's the second one. It's a Wednesday night. Are you all cool?
Yeah.
Easy that one, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how it goes, isn't it?
That's how it is.
That's how it goes.
And that side of boxing, that's what I don't like. But it's just, you just got to be a realist, and that's what it is. And I can't get a kid in there thinking, I'm going to take you to be a world champion and this, that, and the other. And they're fighting and they're selling 30 tickets, not getting paid themselves. I'm not getting paid. And where they're going, it's costing them to fight, and they're not going to go nowhere. So that's the hard reality of boxing.
Well, because I was thinking like I might make a comeback back. I might come down and hit you up, but you've just kind of shattered my dreams. You know what I mean? Like, you don't sell enough tickets.
I'll be real. I'll be so real. Like, unless you're winning the ABAs or whatever they're called now, and on the Olympic team and turning over gold medals and that, it's hard. It's so hard.
It is very much. So but when you was a pro, going back, was you full-time pro?
At the beginning, no, I worked for Al Smith. Al Smith's got a big cleaning company, and I worked for Al Smith. But then, and as I think, when I got to like Southern Air English level, I got a full-time sponsor. Then I could,
because that's what's mad as well, isn't it? Like even for someone like yourself, you didn't win the ABAs, but you're right up there, like, do you know what I mean? And you still had to you got to go and get a job, which is mental. Because I think people assume you've been on TV and rich, got a big house.
Like Mayweather.
Do you know what I mean? That's it, isn't it? That is, but it is the harsh reality of sports that like a lot of people that go pro, they go through their whole career having a job, don't they?
Like if you speak to most of them, they work. Even like the champions, they go work.
Especially if you're smaller. Right? Heavyweight, you got a bit of an easier route, haven't you? Because people want to see them. But like, listen, mate, this has been brilliant, Brad. Always great to see you, my man. Hopefully we'll do this again one day. Maybe I'll come down if you've got time. We'll do some training.
Get Fran on and that as well.
Brilliant, we definitely, mate. I'd love to, definitely.
Fran, welcome.
Sky Nicholson, if we can get him on, lovely.
Definitely.
I'd love to come down and do a session with you if you've got time. I won't bother you, you've got fighters, mate. Like obviously, but that'd be brilliant. Before we finish, mate, there's a important question. I think I've seen you in a shirt. I don't think this is going to go well. Most important question: which football team do you support?
Oh, Arsenal.
Oh, mate, Chelsea's the right answer. Brilliant, Brad, top man. I appreciate you, mate.
You,
I always finish with a fist up like this.
Yes.
Squeeze the neck. Boom.
Yes.